welcome back to my another video. In that new video lesson, we are going to learning about Python scope with normal scope and global scope. So let's get started about the video and see some examples. Firstly, you need to open your Visual Studio Code in your desktop, and then we created a file in part 1. So we create another file. So click that new folder and then left click mouse, click new file and automatically create that file. Now name it that scope.python extensions. Now enter that, and now we're gonna see that I hashtagging it starting the scope function. Now we see that global scope firstly because it is important. Firstly, we know about the global scope. Secondly, we know about the normal scope. So hashtagging it and say not global scope, right? Global scope. Now that time we use a letter or number. We use letter. So A is equals to 17, B is equals to 13. Okay. Now we use that defining function. The def function means is defining function use. So write that define function use. Okay. If any mistake, tell me in the comments. Now we use the def function. Write def any name. I use demo because you see this demo function use. Def demo, print that command A, print A, print B. Done. Now call the function. Okay. Now call that demo. It will be pop up. Now, when you run that, you see that the magic will happen. See, we inputted A is equals to 17, it is comed, B is equals to 13, comed. Now, we successfully completed the defining function and global scope use. Now we see the normal scope. So, cut that global scope and tagging it normal scope. Okay. Now when it's done, normal scope basically a scope that is the biggest, largest scope. Now def defining function use, right? Student. We use that student name, ID, section. Okay. Now print that command student name. Okay. Now when it's done, colon it, comma, name. It will come. Now print another time. Now ID, student ID, right? Student ID colon, comma, ID. Come. Now print student section. Student section is equals to not. I colon it. So I type that colon is equals to comma section. When we inputted that and you see a error, you see that error. When we not inputted that name, that is error. This is the yellow pop-up. That means the code will be not work or exist. So see your code and run. Now hashtagging it and then hashtag completing the command. I use the small cmd. Now that time I use that function demo call students s1. Firstly we say s1 is equals to student. Now when it not pop up, your code will be not complete, or you see that it is already come. def student is equals to name any, id any, section any. That is come. Now as one student, we input name, his name, Raju, comma, id is equals to 7, comma, now section is equals to HSHSS. Okay. If any mistake, tell. I say already. Student, now name another time is equals to Shojib, comma, ID. Okay. ID is equals to 1. Now, section we input. If you input any section or else, like A as not, A as A, we don't input another function in the second line. If we input second line, the third line will be completed to that section. Like that, I use that id is equals to another time. id is equals to section, id is equals to 1, section input L S A, Lhasa. Now S3 is equals to student. If we note that student command, the scope will be not work. So name is equals to bg not bila, comma, id is equals to what we say 8, comma. Now we don't any section use. Firstly, we call the function. Now s1 colon student not, we use that def student. So that time we backslash n it, another time backslash n, another time backslash n. Okay, that will be complicated. Oh guys, that is also called the value. Completing the command and called. Okay. Now, how do we see the init function use? def init function use. Okay. Now, when we run that function, guys, see that student name Raju, student ID 7, student section HSS, student name Shajib, student ID 1, count. Now you see that lastly, student section ASA, we inputted already, but see that command, we don't input in the third line. So that's why the section will be worked, or else we also use another function. Okay, like id is equals to 4, 3, and you input another command like me, that. Okay, now I don't input because my this completed def student function is completed. To how to run a student name id section, how to use that. Okay, now we see that normal scope plus init function use. Init use. Okay, now when you use that init function, we type class function. Now we say normal class function, class like student. Okay, now class student, use that. Now class student, I use that function colon. Now def just init dash dash, this will become. If we not use that init function, that will be not work, comma, cell name id small. I use that class function perfectly in that next third video. The I is small, that video, guys. Okay, now cell name, I use only name. Okay, only name. Now the third video will become soon. Now def init self comma name. Now self dot name is equals to name. Now another time def, we use that demo self. We don't anymore use that name function. Now print out that value. A student name is equals to comma self. It will be automatically come name. Okay. Now call the function hashtag. Calling the function colon. Now demo not, guys, s1 is equals to another time student. We use that in the class function. Now we use that self dot name. So how to use that? Name is equals to is easy peasy count. Name is equals to VASH Vash. Now call. Now we call that value as one that is worked in that function. If you don't use that student function, see that, don't use student function, the S1 demo will be not worked. Okay. So look that command and run. So student is always important. So when it is student done, now when you run that command, it automatically run. See that student name Vash count. So that is my video how to use that scode command easily with some examples. If you like my video, so subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell icon button. Assalamu alaikum.